A Florida man claimed he was Jesus and kissed a minor in a gym. A Florida man was sentenced for shooting and poisoning dolphins. Governor Ronnie D. of Florida signs a bill to allow transactions using gold and silver bars. And a Florida man fresh out of jail was shot dead by the police after taking meth and attacking a gator. These are the weird stories on Weird AF News, the only daily weird news podcast. And these stories for Friday are only from Florida. It's Florida Friday on Weird AF News. Let's go. A Florida man claims he's Jesus and kisses a minor in a gym locker room. This Florida man is facing some charges. The cops say that he allegedly trapped a male minor inside a gym locker room and then kissed him against his will. Clearwater police arrested Florida man James Trevor Byron Thompson. What a name, James Trevor Byron Thompson, age 39. The victim said he walked up to him at a Crunch Fitness, told him he was Jesus, and tried to give him a hug. This is why you don't go to discount gyms. That's where all the weird crap happens. Discount gyms, Crunch, Planet Fitness. These are the places where a guy will walk up to you and say he's Jesus and try and put his member on your shoulder. You know how it goes. Well, maybe you don't. You don't want to know how it goes, okay? And you definitely don't want to spend a lot of time in the showers at discount gyms, because that's where the ultimate craziness happens. Imagine a discount gym shower locker room in Florida, in Pinellas County. All right, back to Jesus doing Jesus things. So he approached the victim, told him he was Jesus in a past life, tried to give him a hug. According to his arrest report, when the victim tried to get away, Florida man Thompson used his body to block the exit of the gym locker room and then kissed him against his will. Let me give you a big Jesus kiss. Come on, I'm Jesus. I love everybody. I got to give you a smooch. Come on, step right up and get this Jesus smooch. Oh, yeah, Jesus Gotta give you a kiss. Jesus wants to just I gotta spread the love, starting right here with your lips. Now, the police did some investigations on the man who claims he was Jesus, Florida man Thompson, who admitted to kissing the victim. And he faces simple battery. That's a simple battery, by the way. Kissing someone against their will. Simple battery. What were you convicted of? I was convicted of battery. Hug and a kiss. Well, the story rounds up by saying Jesus was booked in a place he never thought he'd be, Pinellas County Jail. How come every time Florida man claims he's Jesus, he never then goes on to do very much Jesus things? Like clothe the naked, feed the hungry, help old gators across the street. No, never does Jesus things. Or maybe they do Jesus things, but those ones don't make the news. I don't know. No one wants to hear, apparently, about woke Jesus in the news. That's boring. Forgiving people. How boring. That's not selling any popcorn. We want to hear about reincarnated Florida man Jesus propositioning people using a butt crack in a shower at a discount gym. A Florida man was arrested and sentenced for shooting and poisoning dolphins. What kind of sick biatch poisons dolphins? I don't understand this at all. For years, Florida man Zachary Barfield of Panama City made his living on the Gulf of Mexico guiding fishing charters, often with dolphins trailing close behind, riding his boat's wake. But when the dolphins began stealing red snapper from his clients' fishing lines, prosecutors say the longtime Captain Florida man turned into a predator. Apparently, Mr. Barfield laced bait fish with pesticide and shot guns at dolphins from his boat? What are you doing, bro? The article says he did these things often while he was chartering his boat. One time he did it in front of two elementary-aged children. Just blasting dolphins in front of kids. These kids are never going to want to go on a fishing trip ever again. Florida man Barfield, age 31, was sentenced this week to the stiff penalty of 30 days in prison. I mean, come on. It's for poisoning and shooting dolphins, which violate the Marine Mammal Protection Act and the Federal Insecticide, Fungicide, and Rodenticide Act. 30 days. Wow. They really let him off the hook, would you agree? You know, SeaWorld was let off the hook as well. I guess down in Florida, they're not interested in protecting the marine life. They're not interested in protecting the kids, though, either. So, I mean, we know that because we listen to Weird AF News. All right, so this Florida psycho only sentenced to 30 days. It should have been 30 days at the bottom of the ocean. Don't you think that's fair? I think that would have been a fair penalty for this. And you should have to register as a dolphin murderer. Why not? People should know what you did, and you shouldn't be allowed to have a job on the sea after this. You certainly shouldn't be able to have your own business. Are they going to take away his license, his boating license, and all of that? Let me keep reading. It says his sentence will be followed by 1 year of supervised release. Wow, so strict. Prosecutors say Mr. Barfield understood the harm of the pesticide he used, methamil, but fed it to the dolphins anyways. Exposure to methamil can disrupt the nervous system of humans and animals. The Environmental Protection Agency restricts its use to management of plant and soil-borne insects in farming. So he slowly murdered the dolphins with this by disrupting their nervous system with poison. Oh, I mean, imagine. The Florida man's lawyer, Nathan, declined to comment about this. Well, Nathan's going to hell, so I mean, comment all you want. It's not going to stop. Jesus knows what you do. You defend dolphin poisoners, so you're going to have to answer to that. The investigation into the Florida man Barfield began in 2023 after a special agent at the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration's Fisheries Division was tipped off about a fisherman killing bottlenose dolphins in the area. He used a 12-gauge shotgun. Mr. Barfield shot at least 5 dolphins, one confirmed kill with his 12-gauge shotgun. One of the shootings happened on a charter vessel with multiple witnesses on board. Listen to this maniac, man. Gets 30 days in prison? Does this make any sense to anybody? I mean, look at me trying to put reason. I'm trying to throw a blanket of reason onto the Florida legal system. How dumb am I? Well, maybe the dolphins will get their revenge on this piece of crapola. They're smart, right? They get together in gangs or schools, or is it a murder of dolphins? No, that's crows. What do you call a group of dolphins? A gaggle of dolphins? Anyways, maybe they'll get together and wait for this fool in local waters and then sink his boat, ruin his business, ruin his life. 30 days. He would have got more than that if he scratched a Tesla, right?
Memorial Day savings are here at the Home Depot. So take your kitchen to the next level with up to 35% off, plus up to an extra $450 off select appliances like LG. Plan your get-togethers with an LG refrigerator you can count on for years to come at the Home Depot. And with the connected ThinQ app, you'll know if the door is left open and when to change the filter. Spend less time worrying this Memorial Day with savings on LG, America's most reliable appliance brand at the Home Depot. Offer valid May 15th through June 4th, U.S. only. See store or online for details.
Florida Governor DeSantis signed a bill to allow transactions using gold and silver in the state of Florida. From the man that brought you lab-grown meat is illegal, and so are chemtrails, Ronnie D, allowing gold and silver as legal tender in Florida. Just pulling out the greatest hits. This guy's going to have the greatest hits. Oh, Governor Ronnie Little D. Going to be known, going down in history for the hits like Radioactive Highway. I'm on the radioactive highway, baby. It's a radioactive highway to your heart. Ronnie Little D. All right, let's get some details about how do we get some gold and silver in Florida and pay for stuff with it. We're going to just be able to bring them into 7-Eleven, throw down a couple gold nuggets on the counter. Am I going to be throwing gold dust at Florida strippers at some point in the future? Sounds like a good time. Florida Governor Ronnie D. signed this bill on Tuesday. It's going to allow people in the Sunshine State to make transactions using actual gold and silver. Now, in case you don't know your history, the U.S. dollar was originally backed by gold, known as the gold standard. This practice ended nationwide in 1933, and the U.S. stopped the practice of exchanging gold for dollars in 1971. Yeah, all of this kind of happened because it's just impractical to carry around precious metals with you. So that's why we had the gold standard in the first place. Now this guy's thinks he's going to go back to that. Way to bring back that pirate lifestyle from long ago, Ronnie D. How much to walk me dog? How many gold doubloons do ye charge? Well, imagine all the fun down there in Florida where every home has a treasure chest to keep their gold doubloons. Let's hope the pirate comeback does not include scurvy, because that'd be no bueno. That's something from the pirate legacy that we never really enjoyed, right? I do like parrots. Can we bring parrots into stores and restaurants if we're paying with gold bars? That'd be cool. Keeping a parrot on your shoulder, that's pretty boss. You hardly ever see that anymore. I've never really seen it, to be honest with you. But I'd like to. I'm into it. All right, let's get some more details about this brilliant plan from Little Ronnie D. He's calling Bill HB 999 the landmark piece of legislation. He says it gives Floridians more independence, adding that they won't be wedded to a fiat currency. Oh, yeah, that annoying dollar. I mean, which just hasn't been working at all, has it? It's only it's the strongest currency in all of the world. But, yeah, why be wedded to the dollar? Carry around gold bars in your shoes. I mean, it just works so well with the modern on-the-go lifestyle that we all have these days. I mean, is this guy dumb? Does he pay attention at all to modern life? I mean, we're trying to pay for things faster, Ronnie D, not slower. We pull out my gold nuggets and then weigh them? Weigh them at Domino's Pizza? And even if we did pay with precious metals, who's going to test my gold for purity when I'm at the restaurant? You think the people at the Outback Steakhouse will just take my word for it, that it's real gold? I mean, the functionality of this is just a nightmare to begin with. You are dumb, sir. So dumb. Well, I mean, I don't know what you expect. It's Republicans always doing their best to turn back the clock. Yeah, let's get rid of education. Let's get rid of vaccines, and let's pay with silver ingots. let's do that. Good job. Good job. Let's pretend it's 1705. And for you ladies, get in the kitchen. Shine my gold coins, woman. That's where you belong. Did you know that, I think Ronnie D's wife is running for governor next? Oh, what a nightmare down there in Florida. You guys can leave, some of you. You should leave the area. All right, you want to hear another brilliant quote from Ronnie Little D? He says, if you bought a home in 1979, the average cost was $75,000. Those were the days. If you bought that same home, that same product, now it would be $531,000. However, if you had bought that in gold in 1979, it would have been 268 ounces. Today, if you bought that home, 268 ounces. Why? Because it's a tangible thing that has some true value. Okay, Ronnie. Okay, I think I know what you mean. Gold weighs the same as it did back then. An ounce is an ounce. Okay, furthermore, he says, sales tax will not apply to gold and silver, and the new law will authorize money services businesses like PayPal to transmit and accept payments in gold and silver. How would I get my gold and silver to PayPal? Could you explain that to me? Who's paying for me to ship that? And the no sales tax thing, it just sounds like he's pushing forward a way to be shady. DeSantis said the metals will function as real currency again and not just investment vehicles for the wealthy. He further stated that the law will give Florida residents the ability to protect themselves against the declining dollar. But yeah, there's other ways to protect yourself against the declining dollar. You can buy, there's other forms of gold. You don't have to buy the bar. You can buy a gold ETF, gold stocks. Like you don't have to then go buy a safe or, I don't know, keep gold in the bank downtown at the bank and pay them to keep your gold there. This is just so impractical. Is he not? It befuddles me that he doesn't understand how impractical it is. It was impractical when we moved to the gold standard long ago. That's why we did it. It's just because this is just foolish to pay with precious metals out there in the world. I mean, this is just, pushing us back to pioneer times is what's going on here. Are you going to also set up some trading posts so I can bring in my 2 mules, chicken, and some sheepskins for trading? Oh, yeah, that's commerce, baby. You remember the day back in the day you can get money for your beaver skins? Well, we're going to bring those days back again. You're going to be able to pay for Postmates using chickens. I got another business idea for you. This is a business idea free for you from Ronnie Little D. This is what we're talking. Start a stagecoach company. Yeah, that's right. I also remember, I think whips is getting into whips is a good business as well. At least in Florida. A Florida man recently out of jail, high on meth, attacked an alligator, was bitten, attacked the police with garden shears, and was fatally shot in what they're calling a chaotic incident. Yeah, that's an understatement. This is one of the most insane Florida Man titles I have ever come across in all my years of doing Florida Fridays on Weird AF News. A meth-crazed Florida man survived getting bitten by an alligator he attacked, just to be fatally shot when he charged at the police with shears who were trying to help him out. The wild scenes erupted after Timothy Schultz, the Florida man, age 42, was spotted swimming in an alligator-infested lake in Lakeland, which is south of Orlando. This took place on Monday. The police reported that Schultz was high on drugs, had growled at some Good Samaritans that were trying to toss him a life vest just moments before one of the gators bit his arm. You thought you had a bad day. Just when you're thinking you're having a terrible day, just all you got to do is listen to Florida Friday on Weird AF News. There is a Florida man in here that's going to make you feel so good about your life. Here's a quote from Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd. Oh, we've had Grady Judd on many of Florida Friday episode. Grady Judd has a lot of activity because Polk County is crazy. Grady Judd said, quote, "The fact that he was bitten by an alligator and still continued his rampage is a little bit shocking. But, you know, if you're high on enough meth, then the person you see is not the person that's attacking you." Yeah, I mean, Grady Judd has seen his share of meth-infused Florida men, so he knows the deal. Okay, the deputies were called to a nearby convenience store by a worker. This is how it went down. The worker reported a man acting strangely, shaking and asking to call his son, but the person had disappeared by the time the members of the sheriff's office arrived. Then, about 2 hours later, residents of this gated community nearby called to report that same man was in the lake. It was a gator-infested lake inside the gated community. He emerged with a bloodied arm. That's when he picked up some garden shears that a neighbor had left in their backyard and attempted to smash a car window with a brick. The deputies arrived, and that's when the Florida man charged their police vehicle, waving the garden shears. Then when the police exited the vehicle, he tried to snatch at their weapons, which forced them to fire. We have another quote from Grady Judd here. He said, "This is just some crazy stuff, okay? Crazy. You know that it's got to be true. You can't make it up. I wouldn't be making this up. And let me tell you another thing. My officers tried to subdue the suspect twice with a stun gun. That wasn't working. The fact that he was bitten by an alligator significantly and then still continued his rampage is shocking. Never seen that, but, you know, he's high on the meth. What are you going to do?" Thanks, Officer Grady, for your opinions and updates. Officer Grady always has opinions that he throws in. Any word on how the alligator's doing? They're going to pardon the gator for... The gator's got a good defense. It's called stand your swamp. It's like stand your ground, but in gator lingo. Can you imagine on meth attacking, just jumping into a lake and attacking gators? That's some... It's a hell of a drug, as they say. This story is amazing in that it checks all the Florida man boxes, right? You have drugs, gators, police, shooting. It's missing nudity, right? It's missing a Walmart. There's no relatives or machete. And, well, I'd say python. There's no python, but it checks a lot of the Florida man boxes for sure. Oh, shark. There was no shark. But nearly everything else that you want in a Florida man story is there. I think a better headline is Florida Man Died the Ultimate Florida Death.
Hi, this is Joe from Vanta. In today's digital world, compliance regulations are changing constantly, and earning customer trust has never mattered more. Vanta helps companies get compliant fast and stay secure with the most advanced AI, automation, and continuous monitoring out there. So whether you're a startup going for your first SOC 2 or ISO 27001, or a growing enterprise managing vendor risk, Vanta makes it quick, easy, and scalable. And I'm not just saying that because I work here. Get started at Vanta.com.
Oh, I am Floridaman. Hi, everybody. You were amazing. Thank you for being with me. Appreciate it. Couldn't have done it without you, honestly. Couldn't have done it. And thanks for sending me Florida stories. I know some of you did. You sent me a lot of Florida stories. Super helpful. Appreciate that. Helping me get the old job done. I'm going to keep this really, really brief because I'm trying to have some fun. Anyways, if you want to support Weird AF News, first of all, please subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, it's pretty cool if you could do that. You could support the show by sharing it with a friend over the weekend. That would be tremendous. Or you can go to weirdafnews.com, the official website, and buy me coffee that I'm going to spend on beer. Well, that's what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to spend it on beer this weekend. Just letting you know. I'm in Palm Springs, going to be having a good old time. Although by the time you hear this, I'm already in Palm Springs having a great time. Nice little getaway from Los Angeles. You know, I don't have the luxury of, I don't have a swimming pool in my life or any of the hot tubs or anything like that. So, you know, once in a while it's nice to just, you know, get an adult soda and hang out in a pool, work on my tan a little bit, you know, just get away. Anyways, that's what I'm doing. I hope you're having a lovely weekend. And you can always reach me at funnyjones@gmail.com. Check out my Instagram @funnyjones. Stay up with me and follow me. I'll follow you back. I'll say hello. And together we'll have a great life. Good luck with your life, man. Yeah.